Hey guys, it's Michelle with Cashel Creation. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Today we're going to do part 2 of the little golden book that we're keeping the golden spine. If you have not seen part 1, I will definitely leave that link down below so you can check it out if you are wanting to follow through on the creation of this project. If not, no big deal. I'm glad you're here to join us in the second part. So what we're going to do today is we are going to trim down the signatures from the book, and then we are going to construct both signatures, hopefully, and then see how far we get. So the first step that I want to do is, if you didn't see the first video, what we did was we numbered all the pages in both signatures so we can make sure we keep them intact. And then to also quickly explain, we did keep the golden spine in the back. So by doing that, we did alter the width of the book. So typically the width of the book would be 6.5 inches, but since now we've shortened the width, it's now 6 inches. I believe that's the correct, 6 inches. So what we're gonna do is, instead of just cutting off the right hand side 1/2 inch, which to me takes away from, sometimes not only, even though it should not take away the words, it takes away the beauty of the imagery that you see, because if I took off 1/2 inch, this is what you will see, and I feel like you're missing something. But if we take off 1/2 inch off of this side, then you still see the full image. And that's my objective in this video, is to show you how I do that, or how I accomplish it. So we're gonna go signature by signature. What you're gonna need is probably a ruler, just in case, your paper trimmer of choice, and some adhesive glue. I wouldn't use double-sided tape. So any adhesive glue that you guys like to use. Definitely want to use a pencil to number your pages if you want to keep them in order. If you don't and you don't care, by all means, have at it. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do page by our pamphlet, I guess is the right word. Full page by full page. And this is why it's important to number your pages, because as you can see, it goes from 1-2 to 11-12. And if you didn't number your pages, you might get confused as you're cutting and re-piecing them together. So what we're gonna do is we wanna make sure we're also cutting from the side we intend to cut from, and not from the wrong side. So you'll be chopping off the side that makes it into a book. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna only remove 5/8 of the side that connects. We're not going to take off an entire 1/2 inch, and I'll explain to you why. Because we are going to piece them together, and we need that 1/8 of an inch with our tape, or not our tape, with our adhesive glue to do that. So we are going to go to this notch here, which is your 5/8, and we are going to make sure that it is not moving. And I haven't changed my blade from the last video, which I probably should, but it is just gonna do that. Okay, so we basically remove this little portion right here. So I am not gonna glue them all together yet. I'm just gonna put that off to the side, and then I'm gonna get my next page. We'll do signature by signature just to be okay with it. But again, we're gonna go to the 5/8 marker on your on your cutting blade, and then we are going to remove that portion, and I'm just gonna crisscross them so it makes my life easier. And then again, making sure we're only getting one sheet at a time, going to that 5/8 marker and removing that portion. Okay, so what we'll do is, again, just the first signature. So you should have, if your book had 3 folding pages, you should have 3 of these left. I don't end up using these, but if you want to use them for another project, by all means. So now what I'm going to do is, I probably should have gotten a mat for my table. I don't think this is going to be long enough, but I really should have switched out my mat. Forget it. I'll just do it like this. So what we're going to do is we are going to glue the portion we cut off, and very, very, very thin. So you definitely want to make sure that your nozzle for your glue, it has a very thin tip. You do not want to splurge, goop. I don't know what you would call it. You don't want to have it too much. So hopefully, let me go zoom in a little bit closer so you can kind of see how little I'm going to do. Very, very, very thin. And I'm just going along the border of the cut we just did. And if it goes on the table, which is why I wanted to have a mat down, that's okay. And I'm basically just going to kiss them together, lift it up, make sure it is level and perfect. And I'm going to press that down. And this is why I probably should have gotten a mat. I'll probably have to clean all that off later. You can use a bone folder if you want, but the paper is pretty thin. Now I'm just gonna leave it as is. I'm not gonna open it yet, okay? Because remember, we didn't cut a full 1/2 inch, all right? So just remember that. So this page is done for right now. Then I'm gonna go to the next one and I'm gonna do the same thing. Again, I'm going to add glue to that little thin line onto the side. And again, if you place your pages in a certain way, then they should be in the same place you left them in regards to attaching them. If you move them around, you might want to just make sure they're in the right format or placement. And again, I'm just doing the same steps. I am just gluing them down. Okay, so that is my second page, and I'm just crisscrossing them off camera, just so that you can see what I'm doing. So again, doing the next one, and I'm just taking my bead of glue and again just going straight down the side and just gliding all the way down. And it's a very, very thin bead of glue. It really is just to get them to kiss, meet, make sure they're even, and then again just get that excess glue off of there. And then we have finished our first signature. So those were the 3. I'm just going to put them off to the side because we still have to do the second signature. I'm going to close up my glue real quick, even though we're going to use it real fast, but I don't want to. So we have our second signature. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to open it up. I'm only going to cut off 5/8 of an inch. So I'm going to go up to that line. Make sure it's even. Cut that off and put that there, and then get the next page. Only cut off the side that needs to be cut off. And I'm going to crisscross it so they stay together. Make sure there's nothing in there. And then do the last one. So again, you should have the same one as the first signature. 3 extra pieces. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add the glue to the side. Again, the numbers kind of help you to determine what side the numbers should be on as you're flipping, so you don't glue the wrong side. If you didn't do the numbers, try to put your pages in a format that you want them to be in. I'm sure there's other methods you can do this in regards to adhering. If you wanted to use washi tape to adhere them, you can do that too. Then I would cut them down shorter than 5/8 of an inch, and I would do the full 1/2 inch. If you guys are gonna use other ways where you're gonna attach papers to them, you can do that too. Like I said, there's so many different ways to go about this. And I thought, let's see if this would work, because I, excuse me, I want to keep my story intact, but I want to put pages in between them. So I wanted to have that flexibility to do that. So anyways, again, we're just going down with a very thin bead of glue. And then once this dries, we are then going to score them. We're going to score them at that 1/8 of an inch that we didn't cut off, and then fold them again. And I know that sounds redundant, and the reason why we have to do that if you're doing this method is because the crease that we created, or the glue that we created, leaves a 1/8 of an inch indent, and then when you try to add your signatures, it doesn't. For some reason, that's what I was having the problem with when I was trying this the first time, and then I put it on hold because I'm like, this is not working for me. Excuse me, I feel like I have a frog in my throat. That's when I was having the difficulties. So that's when I just said, you know what, I'm gonna put this on the shelf and I'll come back to it later. And that's where my intimidation came from. And the book just intimidated me. I was just like, I can't. So I did more homework, and then I was like, okay, let me watch other people do it and see how it works. And then I'm like, oh, let me try this. So I wanted to open the book to kind of show with you what I'm referring to in regards to the fold. And that's what I'm looking for. Okay. So here you can see how I did a little tiny 1/8 of an inch fold. And that is because this 1/8 of an inch that I folded over is that glue line that we just did. So again, I only shaved off 5/8 of an inch. So I still have the full imagery here. Of course, some glue did seep over, so it looks a little shiny. But that allows me to then put this into a signature. And as you can see, it's like if it was made that way. I mean, me showing you, I think, is the only thing where you would notice that, because unless I didn't show it to you, I probably didn't stand out. Here's another one. You can kind of see where I folded that flap over. So again, here's the first page. Again, I folded the flap over. So that's what we're going to be doing in this one. So let's go back to the first signature. That should be dry already. And we'll go with page 1. So we're going to take back out my scoreboard. So again, we want to have this to be 6 inches. So if you're not sure where your 1/8 line is going to be, oh, this looks to be a little bit longer than 1/8. Because that's 1/2 inch. All right, hold on one second. I know my measurements were right. Okay, well, let's try it and see what happens. I feel like I didn't cut enough off, and that could have been my error in judgment. But we're going to try this and see how it goes. So I'm just going to score so I know where my fold is going to be. And maybe it doesn't really matter how much you're going to score. But if we do a dry run, we're going to see. So what I want to do, you see, I don't think that's going to work. I think it needs to be, an 1/8. Let's go here to this little nudge, which I think is like somewhat close, but not the same. So what we're gonna do is we are going to crease on a line, because I just want to see as a dry fit if this is a good gap. The whole purpose behind this is I mean, obviously, however you want your book to look is your preference, but this purpose is to allow the book pages to stay within and not overhang. And I feel that I keep showing you and I get too close. Okay, so if I do that, it overhangs slightly. So it was that first marker. So it should have been cut some more. All right. So we are going to go to a full quarter. And this is where you have to figure out what you want to do. I'm thinking maybe we should cut some more off because I don't really like. So you see how that imagery looks? I really don't like having that cut off the reindeer. And if we flipped it to the front, we could do that. But I feel like that's too much there. So believe it or not, we're gonna slice some more off. So in this situation, we have to slice off 1/2 inch, not 5/8. I don't know why I was grabbing that. Or did I cut off a little bit off to the side? No, I don't think I cut any off to the side. Let's see. This is what happens when you do things later. No, this part was not shaved. Okay. So let's try this one more time because when we open this, you see how it's going to, well, let's show you the one that didn't fold. When you open this, where is it? Here we go. When you open it, you see how it's going to lay like this. This is what I wanted to show you. It's going to lay like this. And that's because we put the glue in there. Now, look at the part that's sticking out. You see the part that's sticking out? That's the part that I folded over. And that was a little crease that I gave it. However, because I gave the wrong measurement, and it's going to now hang out, then I gotta shave off. I feel like this book is not even squared. See how it's hanging off? So you have choices here. We should have cut off the full 1/2 inch. All right, easy peasy. And there is a fix for that, for the paper trimmer. All right, so we did 5/8. So let's do, oh my God, why am I doing that? Okay, so with 6 1/2, I don't want to go, I want to go there. Because 1/8 of an inch is what we're going to fold. Okay. Let's just do one and see how it goes. Okay, so did all the glue come off? Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so we did 6 1/8, and we're going to re-glue this and then fold and see what happens. So bear with me, guys. I am really sorry. I thought I had the right measurements when I filmed this. It seems like this whole video series is giving you my trial and errors. All right, but you gotta admit, this is a cool way to do this. Like, I didn't really see anyone do this in any of the videos that I was watching. and this glue dries pretty fast. So let's see, we're gonna open it. And what I want is for me to wait because I'm being impatient. Okay. Let's just give it a second. All right, and then what we're gonna wanna do is figure out which way we're gonna go. I think now we're going to go to the right. I mean, it covers his little nose, but it's a lot better than the front. And of course, I didn't glue it properly, as you can see. All right, let's just go with the rest. Gotta cut them down anyways. All right, so we're gonna do 6 1/8. One, this one, 6 1/8. I gotta change my blades, that's why I keep going up. And then we're gonna glue this one. Let's see if it came undone. It did. So, hope you guys are having a good day. It is Saturday when I'm recording this, and there is rain scheduled in the forecast, which I love crafting when it's raining. I don't know if you guys do. I always find, to me at least, rainstorms make me happy, to be honest with you, and it gets me in the mood to accomplish things. And a good rainstorm is just music to my ears. All right, so this time we're just gonna make sure that we get that on there good. All right, and then this one, and this is another reason why you want to make sure that your pages are numbers, because I am already forgetting which one goes where. Did this one need to be, no, okay, well, that one was glued good. No, I think I'm gonna take it apart just to be safe rather than sorry. And you're gonna add it to a signature, so I want to make sure that it's not gonna come undone. All right, we're gonna add a bead of glue. Very, very, very small bead of glue. And then put it down, make sure it's in its proper place. So when I started working on the first one, I wasn't sure how to add things as my signature. Junk journals is pretty much, you do what you want, right? You choose the items you want to put in it and you go from there. And so after watching a lot of people's videos, I realized that there were a few components that I really wanted to incorporate, but the main artery, which was the cardstock to choose, was what I was having trouble with. And I don't know if any of you have made junk journals yourself. That was my difficulty. So I realized that I had collections upon collections from mystery boxes that I'm sure I showed you guys from Simple Stories or from Echo Park. And I'm like, I wonder if any of these collections would go perfect with any of these golden books that I want to do. And a light bulb went off and I'm like, yes, they will. So I went on a mission, and I'm making sure that I'm cutting the right side. I went on a mission trying to see which ones would go. So when I did my first one, I chose the Feeling Frosty. I think that was the collection name by Echo Park, or Simple Stories. I think it's Simple Stories. And I thought it went perfectly. And so when I saw this one, I'm like, oh, I have a few Christmas in red tones that I thought would go great with it too. But then when I opened the book with you guys on the first video, I realized, yeah, I don't need red tones. I need red, green, and blue tones. So I went through my stash again, and I think I found the right collection. But we'll see how it unfolds. But I really think it's a good concept, at least if you're getting started, to just go through your stash and kind of figure out what you already have that will work. And I'm only telling you that I went through a collection because it was easier for me to figure out what papers would coordinate and which ones I want here, which ones I want there, versus going through all my single pages and figuring out which ones would coordinate with what collections. So I don't know if that's making any sense to any of you, but that's what I did. I just found, at least to get my mojo in the right direction with the golden books, was where I wanted to go. That doesn't mean, again, that you have to do it like that. I'm just sharing with you my thoughts on what helped me figure out what was my my mojo. And then along with, you know, how I liked the signature to come out. And there is no formula. There is no formula at all on how many pages you should have in a signature, how many signatures you should have in a book. The only thing that I would advise is, depending on how much bulk you want in your book, will depend on how big a spine you should have. That's the only big suggestion I should have for you. And the other thing is the intent for the book. If you do intend to add additional things to it, like pictures and embellishments and brochures and programs and all those things, that is going to add more bulk than you already have after you created it. If you're mainly going to use it just to journal in it, then that might be okay as well. So just some things I've observed when I have taken my notes from other designers and other people on social media on when they made them. So just some things to add. And I definitely suggest that if this is something that you might want to do, definitely check out other people as well, because again, there's so much out there that inspire you. And someone else might be the one you're looking for in regards to making versus myself. There's a lot of knowledge out there. All right, so enough of chit-chatting, right? Just clearing some dead air, dead space. All right, so these first signatures should be done. We're gonna go ahead and open it like I wanted to do initially, and see if I can get, I'm trying to get the page to not be like there. So when I open it, it's nice and pretty. Okay, so that means that this is my crease that I want to fold over. And I am going to go this way. So that way the first page of the book will be like this. And then you're going to open it, it's going to be like this. And then, now remember, this is page 1 and 2 and 11 and 12. So there's going to be stuff in between here. I really messed up this page. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to glue this down. Same format. We're going to go very light because remember, we're going to fold it. And we don't need too much. We just need to keep it closed. And then I'm just going to go over with my finger and I'm just going to press it down firmly and just, again, keep pressing it down till it's good. And then see that bubble? I don't like that bubble. I hate it. I know there's a way to fix it. that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fix that because I don't want it to be a bubble like that. Okay, I'm gonna leave that open to dry. All right, hopefully the rest of the pages are much better. So we're gonna open it up. This allows us to make sure we find that crease. We don't want to open it, like break it apart. We just want to see where that page is going to, see. I think I put too much glue on this one. Why does this one look so big? All right, well, I thought we were going to get further along in this video, and I don't think we are. It's like the way that my glue went did not spread out evenly the way I wanted it to do it. Because you see, this would have been even and it's not. And then that's where it would buckle. And that's what I don't want. Well, I'm gonna do another little bead of glue. I feel like you just have to manipulate these pages because again, you created another crease. Whoops. And then you're just gonna fold it down, you're gonna hold it. I don't know why that keeps doing that. All right, hopefully you guys are understanding what I'm showing you. So obviously I'm having paper difficulties. So again, I'm gonna leave that open and put that in there. Hopefully this paper is gonna give me a better outcome. Maybe I should just do it like this. I feel like that's 1/8 of an inch. So we're gonna open it up and see how that goes. I really felt like I did not have this much trouble with the other page. So here we're gonna, again, fold it over. And again, just a small bead of glue. We don't want too much glue seepage. And an eyelash got in there for some reason. And again, we're just gonna push it down with our fingers and make sure that it is creased. So this is our first signature. again, I don't understand why it's doing that bubbling thing. And then we're going on to our second signature. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do 1/8 of an inch. And just, I think that's where the 1/8 is. And then we're going to bend it forward. And then we'll open it up and see how it looks. And then put a little bead of glue. I got a lot there. And then we're just gonna fold it over. And again, varnish it down. And then open it up. I tell you, this paper does not want to work with me today. Ugh. It's like the crease got uncreased or something. I'm gonna put that up there. All right, here we go. I feel like I'm so defeated with this thing. And I'm trying to share with you how I created these, and it's like, it doesn't want to work with me. And I'm not understanding why. Like, it doesn't want to be cut. So again, we're just gonna do our little crease. Should I even open it up? All right, put our little glue. We have one more page left to go. And then I'm gonna, this video might take a little bit longer than my 45 minutes. So I am gonna forewarn you now, since you're already into it, 38 minutes. But I really want to share with you how I choose all my papers and stuff. So definitely want to make sure that all this is getting glued down, because you don't want any of this to come up. All right. It's like it didn't get enough glue. I think that's what the problem is. The scoring scored only so much on one side. Alrighty. Last one, and then we'll move on to the signatures. Well, we are on the signatures. What I mean is, we'll move on to the pages. So give me 1 second. See, I think that's what it is. It's not level or equal, and I think that's what's causing that ripple thingy. I'm not gonna even open it. I'm just gonna do it. All right, here goes the glue. And we're gonna press it down real quick. Still didn't. Oh well. Okay, so let's move on. So this is what I was gonna share with you. So looking at the colors, I decided to go with this collection of Carta Bella's a Very Merry Christmas. I think the collections in it are really pretty and vintage, and I feel like the story kind of gives me that vintage vibe. So what I typically do is I'll go through the pages, and I kind of created like a little formula for myself. So I want 11 pages total. That's really sheets of paper, not both sides. And then, oh, I don't know why I put that there. I have this up here. I put 4 of other pages, and then a book page, then a different page, then a book page, then 2 different pages, and then a book page as my signature. So when I say 4, I have these little lines. It's just referring to like different paper or substrates. So looking, and this material is really thick, or this is really thick. So trying to figure out what would be a good front page before we get to the story of the book. So I want something that oh, that is so cute. Oh my god, I can't wait to use that. So something that will be subtle in the front. That's a good sheet too. And that's what I'm going for. Like, I feel like right off the bat, that one to me screams, because we have the blue here, and that looks really good against the blue. But then it could be too much. So again, we're gonna keep looking. So there's a lot of pages. Okay, that's kind of cool too as your front. But then if you do this as your front, you're gonna hide some of this. So to me, I feel like this should be an inside page. So that's a possibility. Gosh, these are so pretty. I hope I got another one of these. Oh, look at those cut aparts. Okay, so this is a nice one. See, I like this one now, because this one, it has that brown tones, but you still have the hint of blue to contrast with that. So then this is what you have to understand as well. We're using 12 by 12 sheets of paper. And so we already know that the book's height is 8. I don't want to measure exactly 8. So what I'm going to think about doing is, to keep my life simple, I might come down to 7 3/4, because that allows me to have 1/8 of an inch from the top and the bottom. And then some pages are probably going to be 6. Some pages might be 5 7/8. It all depends. So I'm going to make a note off to the side so I don't forget. So the height is 8 inches, and we said we're going to do 7 3/4. So we have memory of that. And then the book's width is 6 inches. But you know what? Should we keep the 6? What did these end up being? Let's see. Like a shy of 6. So I want to say 5 7/8 probably should be the number, the lucky number. So I'm going to put 5 7/8 by 7 3/4. is the longest sheet we want. So let's start cutting, right? So I want to have different sheets. So I think this is for sure going to be our first one. The first thing you definitely want to think about once you choose your sheet is a direction, because this is a directional sheet. We want to make sure that we're going to have enough length. So we're going to cut from the top 7. Okay, so, or 7 3/4. Like, I'm already making an error. So 7 3/4 is going to be the top, and that's what, nope, 7 3/4, Michelle. And then that is how tall that our paper is going to be, right? And then we need, this is a 12 sheet of paper, and we're doing 5 7/8. So 5 and 5 is 10. And of course I got to do math. So if we, okay, let's just do it like this. 5 7/8 there. And then we have crapola. I hate this stuff. Okay, 5 7/8. And 1 2 3 4 5 7/8. So we're taking off a quarter. Yes. So we're gonna do 11 3/4. So I want to make sure that both either the right or the left, which side I want to take off. Remember, we're gonna fold it. So this is the front and this is the back. Did that make sense? I hope so. All right, so here goes nothing. We're gonna take off 1/4 of an inch, and I hope, why does that not look straight? Okay. I don't know, I think my paper is weird. Okay, so now we're gonna score at 5 7/8, or you can just fold it in half. Let's just fold it in half and see what happens. 5 7/8. This is really thick. Oh, I did cut it weird. 7 3/4. Why is it not straight? No, it is straight. Let's just do the thing. 5 7/8. Because I want to make sure I get it straight. I need more space on my desk. See, it's not. This paper is weird. I don't have any space, guys. All right, let's move. All right, here we go. Okay, that was challenging. Okay, this is our first piece. Let me clear off my table real quick. All right, so we don't need this. We don't need that. We do need this. So this is our first sheet. So just have some concept to make sure how it's gonna look. Because remember, we went shorter than we were supposed to. Did I measure it right? Let's see. Well, I measured it right, sort of. But I feel like this book page is gonna be the death of me. Okay, so if you do not like the fact that the page is taller than the book, that definitely make sure you do different measurements. I'm gonna have to fix all this at some point. So we open it up. I'm gonna have something else here, and then we will have something in here. I really like the polka dots. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna choose something else. So if we just follow the same kind of format that I had, I did more like a book page. I'm so sorry, a book. So I have here some additional stuff that I went through: coloring books, recipe books. Where is that other book that I bought? Okay. Oh, here it is. I bought this book from Five and Below. It was like for $5, I believe. And I just love the scenery, not scenery, the herbal handbook. And these colors sometimes give you a good mixture. So like this here with this, I want to say it's a mauve color, kind of will help with some of the hues in here. So I want to see if maybe we have a teal. There's green, yellow, orange, purple. There's that other green color. There's another purple. So when you're choosing books, oh my God, that's perfect. Okay. So this is what I learned with unbinding other books. So this particular book has a weird binding mechanism. So I don't know if you can kind of see, if I were to pull this, you can kind of see where that little cluster of a signature is. So what you got to do is, this is the one you want. And then you see there are, okay, that's the one I want. And we got to find the middle of that signature. Here it is. And so you see this one is held in not with staples, but with twine. And you want to cut that. So once you cut that, and not every book is created equal, remember that. Once you cut this, then you'll have access to the cluster of signatures. And then you have access to do whatever you want with them. I mean, the sole purpose of this book is just to use what's inside. And that's my intent, is to gut it. I feel like you are surgeons when it comes to junk journaling. Junk journaling surgeons. So now I just lift this up carefully, obviously. And the beauty behind this, I don't know why it's giving me a hard time. The beauty behind, okay. The beauty behind this is that the size of the pages are perfect. There we go. So the thing you have to think about now is that we like this color, but it comes with the purple. Now you can cover this page up, obviously, if you wanted to. And we are going to see about which one we do, because this is going to go in here like so. And I can trim this down if I want to. I probably will, because so now you have, this is actually green polka dots, by the way, so this goes nice with that green. So it would be this page, and now I have this contrast with this color, and I don't like that. But we're gonna keep going. We're gonna flip it, and then we have this pretty color with this, and then we have the back. Although now it looks purple. Oh, because I got this color, right. All right, so we're gonna play with this one for now and see how it goes. It might work out, it might not, we're not sure. And then another book that I got from Hobby Lobby was this cooking book. I think I waited till it went on sale on clearance, or when they did that 70% off. And I really liked that as well because of the height. But we're gonna actually fold these in half. And so what I'm looking for is just something that, like, these people here are Christmas is for sharing spinach salad and French dressing. And then this other side is a box of gifts. So we're gonna tear that out. And then what we're gonna do is you could do one of two things. You can keep these as is, or you can shave it off. I shaved them off, but just for sharing how we're gonna utilize it. Let's say I wanted to put the gifts on this side, so my people are on the other side. I'm gonna figure out a way to keep everything intact. So I'm gonna lose the French dressing, which I'm fine with, because I want to keep the gifts. So then what I'm gonna do is I am going to cut this down, fold this down like this. Okay, so this is gonna be my third page that's gonna go in here. So now I have a break between this color and this before I get to the first page, just to kind of give you a concept idea. So then that's gonna fold over, and then I have these cute little people on this side. And then when I fold this over, you have the entire recipe of the spinach salad. And then you have the entire recipe of the bok choy salad. So it's kind of cool. I really like how that just flows. And then the next thing I did was I used a vellum sheet that I had in my stash. I don't know where you would get these, but I found them. Now, I took out these three colors that I wasn't sure what was going to go with it, but I really like the gold, and I think the gold would be a nice contrast to that tealish color off to the side. So what we're going to do is I am going to fold this in half. And again, you can cut these down into different sizes if you want that dimension. But for right now, I'm just going to share with you my thought process, because you see how long this video is taking, and I really don't want to take up too much of your time. But it seems I'm having a lot of problems today with the paper. So anyways, I will take off all that stuff on the inside, but now I have another breakup in color, and I personally will probably cut this down because I want you to see Santa peeking through. Again, I don't have to put this in the center. I can move this down. So if I wanted Santa peeking through the vellum, I could. And then so far I have the beginning part of my thing. So I have this page, I have a fun little introduction here, I have a little flap, I have this. Oh, now we're at the start of the book. So then I'm going to open this up, and what was my formula? The next one is just going to be a random page. So I have one of two things. I can go through the collection again and see what I have. I also have coloring pages. Let's see what this one, I have a gingerbread coloring book. We don't have any gingerbread in here, do we? Oh my god, that guy is so cute. Well, that's kind of cute. So then what's on the other side? All right, so I don't know, but I really like that guy. We'll see how we use him. Okay. This is when you're thinking outside the box for a second. All right, so let's try this. So this one says reindeer games, and we have reindeers on this side. So this can go here in the center. This is from like a highlights book. So let's say, for example, I'm gonna place this in here, and this adds some color to the thing. But let's say you didn't really want to keep this. You could just create a pocket here to distract from what's there. And then you have the reindeer games on this side, which is gonna be your reindeers on this side, right? Or you can do it backwards. I like that better because I want the reindeer, or it says rained, reindeer games, and then this, and then you have this opening, and then we're gonna put the next page here. So this is gonna be this way. That's why we have numbers on them. And it's gonna go like this. And then on the next page, let's just add the coloring book. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to cut this out. Let's see how good I can take it out. So the question is, how do I want it to be placed? And I want this side of the coloring page to be viewable, I think is the right word. So it would open like this, so you would have that. And then these pages, I think I'm gonna cover them up with one of these dot thingies. Or we can use another coloring page that's thicker. See, this is why you have stacks of stuff. Oh, look how cute with the little puppy. I'm looking for one that has Santa Claus in it, but I don't think we will find one. Oh, look how cute with the squirrel and the birds. So fun. All right, this one's kind of cute, so we'll go ahead and take this one. And what I did in my other one was that I created pockets out of these, and I wish I had perforations, but I think I just cut it out at the bottom. Okay, so then this would actually go on here like so. I want it upright, so this will eventually create a pocket for this. So what we're gonna do is I'll figure out a way to make this all one piece, create a pocket here so you can put stuff in it, and then this would be another piece inside. And then we would have this here, and this would be the next page, and then we want something inside. So we can do, which we haven't done yet, have all these books off to the camera. You can't see, but there's like piles. I was thinking we can do music. So this I recently got in an auction that I did at Whatnot, and we can just, why make my life easier and choose from the top. So we'll just get one of these out. Is it gonna be easy or hard? Come on. All right. So again, I would have to cut this down, and then we would have this here, and this would go in the center, and then that would complete my first signature. Now I'm not done with it. This is just to get me going. So I typically tinker with a lot. I feel like this video is just gonna be really long, so I'm just gonna stop it, post it, and then I'll be back with another video to show you the second signature, and then all the in-betweens we do, because I didn't realize that creating the signatures with the pages from the book were going to be so tedious. So sit tight. I will try to make sure that the next video posts right after this one. So that way, in case you just want to get to the nitty-gritty at the end. So if it doesn't post after this one, it might be Friday, but I will do my best to make sure that it posts right after this one. So that way you can watch it next if you're still wanting to play with me. So I'm really sorry, guys, for taking so long with the process. I thought it was going to go a lot faster, thinking in my head that it was. Time always escapes, I know. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to hang out with me for this moment of the video. I will be back shortly with the next part, and hopefully it'll move a lot faster. So thank you guys so much. Take care.